Hey there, be ready for some spoilers. The story kicks off with Boston detective Spenser and his partner, Driscoll, heading to Captain John Boylan's place. When they get there, it's clear that Boylan has been drinking, and his wife seems injured from an accident. Spenser later talks to a judge and explains how he started looking into Boylan as a suspect in Gloria Wisniewska's murder. He goes into the visit they made to Boylan's house. The argument gets really intense as Spenser strongly criticizes Boylan and insists that what he did was right. Spenser has almost finished serving the 5 years he was sentenced to in prison. During his time in prison, he becomes friends with Squeeb, a fellow inmate linked to a white supremacist group. Spenser is surrounded by Squeeb and the other members of the group, and they have some final words for him. This leads to a fight between Spenser and the group members, but he is eventually able to fend them off before he is eventually released from prison. Henry Samley, Spenser's close friend and business partner, is there to meet him after he gets released. Spenser is taken aback when his ex-girlfriend Sissy Davis makes an unannounced visit to the prison to pick him up. Spenser and Henry use Henry's car to get away, and subsequently make it to Henry's new home, where his dog Pearl is still residing, and where he now shares a room with a man named Hawk. Spenser is dismayed to learn that instead of being pleased to see him, he is now able. Pearl has developed a deeper bond to Hawk. Later in the day, Boylan is driving home and talking on the phone with his daughter when he drives by a bus station and continues on his way home. Suddenly, a truck drives over him and a bunch of hooded individuals emerge from the shadows to viciously assault him while his daughter listens in dread. The assault takes place while the girl is watching. Boylan is accused by those who attacked him of sharing information about their behavior with another person. After that, one of them uses a machete to cut him down to size. The next morning, when Nurse Letitia gets home, she discovers that her husband, Detective Terrence, has been shot to death in the head while he was sitting in the driver's seat of his car. Letitia is filled with grief, and she is seen crying uncontrollably as people walking by try to comfort her. Rapidly, more people become aware of what has happened to Boylan. When Spenser becomes the primary suspect, Driscoll and another investigator pay him a visit at his home to verify that he does not have an alibi for the crime. Thankfully, Spenser is able to demonstrate beyond a reasonable doubt that he was not there when Boylan was murdered. In spite of the fact that Spenser has begun a new profession as a truck driver, the other members of the police department hold a deep-seated animosity for him and are convinced that he was involved in the murder. Heron's probable involvement in the crime, as well as the media's portrayal of him as a guilty party who took his own life out of sorrow, has caused Spenser a great deal of distress. Spenser is tremendously saddened by both of these developments. After seeing Letitia in an emotional state on television, he becomes motivated to find a solution to the mystery on his own. He pays Letitia a visit since he personally knew Terrence and was aware of his integrity as a law enforcement officer. She divulges the information that the law enforcement personnel who examined the location appear to know exactly where a stockpile of drugs that were obviously hidden was located. She also asserts that the last time anyone saw Terrence, he was accompanied by Boylan walking into a pub. Spenser pays a visit to the cop bar and has a conversation with another detective who may or may not have known whether or not Terrence was connected to Boylan in any way. Spenser apologizes for the way he treated Boylan, but shortly after, law enforcement officers who are loyal to Boylan enter, attack him, and kick him out of the bar. Unfazed, he goes to a neighboring convenience store and purchases footage taken from a security camera, showing Terrence and Boylan talking to each other outside the bar. At Spenser's house, Hawk assists in maintaining the steady stream of the footage. Spenser visits the location of the crime in order to search for any evidence that may have been lost. After that, he goes to meet Driscoll in a gym, who denies being at the crime scene. However, Spenser is suspicious of him because he found a toothpick at the scene, and it is well known that Driscoll always has one in his mouth. Later on, Spenser and Hawk share a meal together, but the protagonist's mood takes a turn for the worse when he sees his former flame Sissy at the restaurant. Sissy follows Spenser into the restroom, where the two of them have a fleeting intimate encounter. During their conversation, Sissy brings up an earlier pregnancy worry that she had, and she mentions that he had promised to help with it. On the other hand, they are of the same opinion that it is for the best that it did not take place. As they are leaving the restaurant, Spenser and Hawk spot the identical Corvette that had been captured on the surveillance camera. In his pursuit of the vehicle on foot, Spenser is mauled by a guard dog as he cuts across the yard of a house. Despite this, Hawk is successful in locating the license plate number, and Spenser is able to obtain information from the DMV, exerting pressure on the clerk. They make the discovery that the vehicle's registration is in the name of a member of the Irish gang tracksuit. The name is Charlie Bentwood. While keeping an eye on what's going on in the outside world, Spenser, Hawk, and Henry watch Bentwood have a massage. Spenser reflects on his personal experience with Boylan and Gloria Wisniewskim when he was younger. In the past, Spenser would clear the snow from Gloria's mother's porch. In addition, Gloria fought gentrification in the Bentwood neighborhood as an activist herself. In the end, Bentwood was dispatched to intimidate her, but she showed no sign of giving in. After some time had passed, she discovered that her cat had been tied to the door, and after a few days had passed, Spenser discovered her lifeless body inside the trunk. It was up to him to tell Gloria's mother about the terrible accident that had occurred. After viewing the surveillance camera of the thugs murdering Gloria, Spenser discovered that Boylan had been sitting on the case and became furious when Boylan evaded confrontation. This led to Spenser attacking Boylan at his home. Meanwhile, Hawk defaces the Corvette in an attempt to enrage Bentwood. They continue to monitor Bentwood for several days until 2 FBI agents warn Spenser to stop his investigation. Spenser pays a visit to Squeeb while he is recovering in the hospital in the hopes of gaining additional information that would assist and convinces Squeeb to comply, showing him footage of Hawk on a date with Squeeb's girlfriend, which Henry is shooting. Squeeb first refuses to comply, but Spenser is able to win him over. Wonderland, the vital word, is divulged by Squeeb at long last. Spenser and Hawk make the discovery, with the assistance of a journalist named Wayne Cosgrove, that Wonderland is actually a gambling scam that is being run by corrupt police officers and a group of criminals. When Spenser visits the area to investigate, he is confronted by 2 members of the gang, and he is eventually forced to retreat from the situation. The funeral for Boylan is conducted with the highest level of military honors, as is customary for a law enforcement officer. The funeral for Terry, on the other hand, is held in a much more low-key manner, and only very close friends and family members are there. Elsewhere, Driscoll and his associate, Macklin, are discussing a sensitive topic, as there is a possibility of an undesirable situation arising that could lead to exposure. Spenser visits a restaurant where he is recognized by the Trinitarios gang, who launch a brutal attack on him with machetes. He is able to defend himself and repel the assailants, until Hawk arrives in a car to assist him. Knowing that the Trinitarios are now aware of his identity and may target him, Spenser chooses to conceal Pearl and Hawk with Sissy for their own protection. Later, he pays a visit to Letitia's house after it has been vandalized, and she gives him an audio tape that Terrence had maintained between himself and Boylan. The tape proves Boylan was a corrupt cop, and that Bentwood, Macklin, and Driscoll were all implicated in his illicit operations. It also reveals that Driscoll was the one who made the fatal blow. Spenser, fueled by an unwavering commitment to justice, delivers the audio evidence to the FBI, hoping it would be enough to bring down the slippery Driscoll. Unfortunately, the feds find the evidence lacking, leaving Spenser no choice but to take matters into his own hands. With determination etched across his face, he tracks down the elusive Bentwood, a man with crucial information about a narcotics shipment destined for the enigmatic Wonderland. The interrogation is nothing short of brutal, but Bentwood eventually cracks, revealing the shipment's impending arrival. Time is of the essence, and Spenser and his steadfast partner Hawk waste no time in locating the truck. A high-speed chase ensues, leading to a heart-pounding showdown on the road. 2 crooks meet their end, and a hidden stockpile is uncovered. As if on cue, Driscoll's menacing voice slices through the chaos, revealing his involvement and chillingly kidnapping Henry, Spenser's dear friend. The countdown begins, forcing Spenser to make a daring rendezvous in Wonderland within the hour. United in purpose and resolve, Spenser and Hawk embark on a relentless mission to free Henry, fueled by a fire refusing to be extinguished. With the stakes higher than ever, they use a vehicle as their battering ram, smashing into the criminal syndicate's cars. The ensuing battle is a whirlwind of fists, bullets, and raw determination. This leads to an intense showdown between Spenser and Driscoll. It's a battle of smarts and determination, and even though Driscoll gets really close to winning, Spenser's strong will prevails. In a moment where he makes up for his past, Spenser chooses not to use the same cruel tactics Driscoll had used earlier. He doesn't want to stoop to his enemy's level. They capture Driscoll, but Spenser stays true to his principles. The law is catching up with Driscoll and his corrupt friends, so they leave the dishonest police officers to face the consequences and leave behind lots of evidence against them. Finally, Terrence gets the justice he deserved, and he is honored with a hero's funeral and a scholarship for his son. After their hard-won victory, Spenser, Hawk, Henry, and Terrence celebrate with a special dinner, enjoying their success. However, Spenser notices a news report about a fire chief who has been arrested, even though he claims he's innocent. It reminds Spenser that his fight for justice is not finished. He feels the urge to keep searching for the truth and continue his relentless pursuit of justice. Thanks for watching. If you are new, don't forget to subscribe for more of these recaps. Until next time, have a nice day.